Good morning, I'm Avon Waters, and I'm going to talk to you today a little bit about the different types of pastel that are out there on the market. We're going to distinguish what the difference between hard, semi-hard, and soft pastels are. There's a ton of pastels out there, and I'm going to put in the links below. I will put the link to Dakota Pastel. Dakota Pastel is on the West Coast, and they sell nothing but pastels and pastel equipment and easels, and they're a great business. I bought various colors and sets from them. The pastels are listed between soft, medium, and hard. And I have to be honest, the idea that the pastel is soft or medium, it's a very vague concept. But the chart that I put for Dakota Pastels will show their ranking of what is soft and what is hard. I disagree with a couple of their listings, but that's me. Another artist would say something is soft when it's really semi-soft to me. So there's a lot of subjectivity to it. But that list will get you started. Smeaky is at the top of the list, and I would say it is one of the very softest of pastels. And then Great America, or Great American Pastels, are made in Cincinnati. Smeaky's from Germany. And Great American is soft and buttery, and really the pigments are very smooth. And then at the bottom of the list is let's see, what's it called here? It's called Create-A-Color. And Create-A-Color is from Austria. They come in 72 colors, and they are definitely harder than New Pastel. The one thing, you would be difficult, I'm sure there's an artist out there, but it would be very difficult for you to find a pastelist who just stays with one brand and says, this is the only brand I use. You go to my pastel box, and this is why I can show you some of the pastels. You go to my pastel box, and it'll have 6 or 7 different makes of pastel in there. One thing not listed, which is even harder, not listed on that Dakota list, is, and I'll get this wrong, it's made in Switzerland, Crayon d'Art, CRAN-D d'Art. They make a thin stick, and it is extremely hard. And matter of fact, I bought a couple just to see what they're like, and I don't use them. They're just too hard for my application. But there are pastels out there that the harder the pastel, the more detail you can get. My work, and you can see a couple pieces over my shoulder, my work is not very detailed. So I like a soft pastel, but I also use hard pastels mixed in. So there's not one way to paint, and that's just why soft, medium, and hard pastels are available, because people use them for different purposes. Let me show you a few of the things. This isn't even on the list. My students, when I teach a class, I encourage them to go online and get this Faber-Castell, and they're called, they come in sets of 72, and they're called a mini pit. Sometimes you'll see them listed as mini pits. And they are a nice pastel. Here's a set that hasn't been used yet. They're a nice pastel. They're somewhere in the hard to medium. I would say that, to me, they're medium, and they're a great starter kit. They're very affordable compared to many of the other pastels. Pastels will range in price between less than $1 a piece for things that you get like at hobby stores, all the way up to $8, $9, $10 a stick. So if you're just starting, don't go buy the $8, $9, $10 a stick things. Start out with something simple, something from their hobby store, or like I said, these Faber-Castell Pit Minis are terrific for the money and give you a lot of colors. Here's a hard pastel. This is listed as hard, and this is called New Pastel, NU-Pastel, and they come in about 120, 125 colors in a 2-layer set like this. I'll show you the cover here. This company was recently bought out, and as of this video, they no longer sell individual sticks, they just sell them by the set. But a set like this will get you started, and for the 120 colors, it's almost as cheap as the Faber-Castell or hobby sets that you get 40 or 30 or 40 or 50 in at a hobby store. They might be 30% more than that. So if you're looking for a good pastel to get started with, New Pastel's it. Pastels come in various shapes and sizes. This is a set, again, of Faber-Castell, and I love their drawing pencils, so that's one of the reasons I thought I'd try their pastels in pencil set. And I don't use these pencils very often, again, because I'm not looking for a lot of detail. Pencils are notoriously hard, otherwise you couldn't have a thin little lead of color and pigment. These recently came out. These are the eggs from the French company, and I always mispronounce this. It's a soft pastel. It's called I pronounce it Sennelier, but it's S-E-N-N, Sennelier is, I think, the way it's properly pronounced. I don't speak French. If it was Spanish, I could do a better pronunciation. So these eggs are really great for artists that have some experience. So don't go buy those eggs if you're a beginner. Diane Townsend makes these little squares. She actually makes 3 or 4 different kinds of pastels, and they have different hardness. I use these, and again, I'll butcher the French, tirage, or terrage. But Diane Townsend, they come in numerous colors, and they've got a real nice grit to them that I like. It will actually scratch paper and create almost a tooth on a paper that isn't really meant for pastel. Wolf Kahn actually worked with her to create a line of those, and he wanted that grit because he apparently used drawing paper for some of his outdoor pastels. Mount Vision is a great, it's like my favorite soft pastel. It is harder than some of the others, like Blue Earth. Blue Earth is like 3rd or 4th on the Dakota list of hardness. And Blue Earth are very crumbly. They will fall apart. You can't really strike and make marks. If you're a mark maker, you might not like Blue Earth, but they're a really soft, luscious pastel to work with. Another pastel, like I said, is the Mount Vision. Sennelier. Sennelier come in stick form as well. Actually, the eggs are new, but these are the Sennelier sticks. And the first thing pastelists do is they take all the labels off their sticks and break them in half because you want to use the edges and the points. So they look so pretty when you pull them out of the box, these great colors. I mean, look at this. Look how gorgeous these are. I've just started using these. You got them in the box and they're just so gorgeous. But I got this box. I've never had Geralt before. Geralt pastels. I don't know if my monitor shows these backwards, but anyway, Geralt is from France, and this set is a set of oranges. They've got some other things in there too, but they look hard, but when you apply these, they are way softer than the New Pastel, and there's just a little bit softer than, I would say, Rembrandt. This is a half stick of Rembrandt. Rembrandts are usually round, and they've got the long stick also that's about that long. And Rembrandts, some people call them hard, and they are listed in Dakota as medium. And I would say they're medium for what I use too. Unison sells theirs in individual sticks, Unison is my really favorite Mount Vision is my second favorite, but for soft pastels, they come in different sets in blues and greens and sea colors. They have all these pastel makers, not all, majority of these pastel makers will sell you sets for, like, if you're a portraitist or you're a landscape artist or you're a modernist or you do florals or you do seascapes. You can get these sets based on what your interest is and your genre in art. So that's a little bit about what these pastels do, and a little bit about the difference between soft, medium, and hard. Those are general terms, and depending on what you do is going to determine what you want. So if you are a beginner, my recommendation is get the inexpensive set, learn how to mix pastels on the page, learn how to create new colors with the colors of the limitations that your set has, and then gradually add different makes and manufacturers where you can order sets that are either small or you can order individual sticks. And other than New Pastel, most of these manufacturers will allow you to buy a few sticks. So you're not going to get these pastels at a hobby shop. You're going to have to go online to an art supply, or if you live in a big city where you are fortunate enough to have an art supply store that is maybe a university town. Medium-sized university towns have some nice art stores. But buy a few of these and try them out and see, based on what you started with the hobby stores, which are probably going to be a hard to medium pastel. Based on what you started with, and as you develop your techniques and as you develop a style, you'll start to find what hardness works for you. Now, I started out, after my hobby set, I started out with Great America, which are like the second softest on the list and real buttery. And I really, really like those. But my style changed. I started working in wet pastel techniques. And wet pastel techniques create a higher texture in places or all over the surface. And so a soft pastel would crumble way more than I wanted. I still use soft pastel. I use them on the high spots to create a layering effect. So every artist, once you start, you're going to find out what pastels work best for the style that you're pursuing. So I hope that's helped you some, and I hope you will hit the subscribe button below and watch for updates or the notification bell. That helps the algorithm. And I hope that you'll stay tuned, but I want everybody to get the joy of learning pastel and learning how the ins and outs and figure out your own style. I was an oil painter for most of my life, and then at the time of this recording, 7-8 years ago, I decided to take a break from oils, and I decided I'll try pastel. My sister used to do pastel, and I've never looked back. It's now my primary medium. I just absolutely love it, and I hope that you find the joy in it, whether you come back and see me again or you go off on your own and look for other videos. I hope you find the joy and the happiness of painting, because you deserve it, and we all deserve to be happy in life, and pastels was happiness for me. So until next time, take care and hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you maybe in another video.